Our company is a brilliant investor, and we focus on multifamily conversions, anywhere up from 6 units and up, depending on the site. So I'm up here in Canada, in cold Canada now. That's our major market as far as province of Ontario. Where I'm based out of is probably the most important market for us. We also look at we also look at stuff that's out west, so out that would be out in Alberta as well, where it's also growing market from a population standpoint, and there's great opportunity.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil, and today I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chat with, Rob Cheszes, who is a mortgage broker and real estate investor focusing on multifamily conversions. So excited to have you here today, Rob.
Thank you, Michelle. Great to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think our listeners are going to take a lot away from how you approach underwriting the right deals and the multifamily conversions that you're up to. So let's dive in.
Sure.
First off, for those not familiar with you and your work yet, can you share what your main focus is these days?
Our company is a brilliant investor, and we focus on multifamily conversions, anywhere up from 6 units and up, depending on the site. So we do that for partners and other investors.
Awesome. And what markets do you operate in?
So I'm up here in Canada, in cold Canada now. So that's our major market as far as province of Ontario. Where I'm based out of is probably the most important market for us. We also look at we also look at stuff that's out west, so out that would be out in Alberta as well, where it's also growing market from a population standpoint, and there's great opportunity.
Awesome. And so how did you get started in your investing journey?
Wow. I would say I was a landlord first before I was a homeowner. Well, I was a homeowner. I was a renter, and then I became a landlord right off the bat, living in one of these multifamily converted units myself, actually. So that's how it started for me. I was living, in one of the units, and I was a landlord. I was managing the unit, and I decided, as I was building out my mortgage career, that this was a great way for me to, build a bigger portfolio in real estate by continuing this process. And what's happened now is that because there is a shortage of housing in certain areas of where I live, they have changed the zoning to allow, even more density on site, and that just makes the numbers, work a whole lot better for what we're doing.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. And so, how did you get into like the niche of the multifamily specifically, like with converting them?
Yeah, so again, so yes, it's I was almost I was living in one of them. I said I was like a tenant, and then I became a landlord like that. And it's how I got started. I understood the process, and then looking at different sites, of course, with other people. And what, it was a big part of it also, I would say, from getting started was also educating myself. So, learning from podcasts like this, going, joining different investor groups or investor clubs, my local realtor too, that was investor focused, would take us on property tours and explain to us, how the numbers work or how the units are laid out, and really got to learn what people wanted as far as layout goes, what worked, what didn't work, and that way, learning how you can build out these units in a way that is competitive and what the customer wants.
Yeah, absolutely. That's important to know your market and know what is needed from the customers in that market.
For sure.
So, what do you feel are some main keys that made the biggest difference in allowing your business to be able to grow and run smoothly?
I would say investing in systems. So investing in systems that allow you not to react, but to be, proactive, and having, the right people in place when things go wrong or when there's, issues or maintenance issues at the properties. Having, a system in place for what to do is really, I think, the difference maker.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you expand on what some of those systems look like for you?
For sure. So, I mean, we invest we have, sorry, invest in certain software for communicating with tenants for maintenance issues. We have also, a team that would look after those types of things that would, also be logged into that. So there's a way to disseminate the information and deal with tenants, that sort of allow you to scale while not being bogged down all the time by calls that can be handled in many cases through other communication tool or directly with the service provider. That sort of adding friction by just being in the middle of that, and it's not, I would say, it's not your best use of time. So that's one of the ways that we would help that. And then again, then it's just also using other tools to source our properties. So if we are working with a realtor, at the same time, or we're looking ourselves at different markets, we're going to, use some other tools as far as zone maps and so forth. We're going to look at different software that we can to help us understand, what can be built on those sites.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you feel has been like the biggest hurdle or challenge that you've experienced as you're in this process and yeah, creating new structures?
So getting the right trades, working together has been a challenge sometimes. I mean, it's material costs, have been steadily going up over time. So making sure that your budget affords that. But I would say, some of the challenges have been, getting the trades to work there on time. There's been obviously a lot of competition in the market, and that makes things harder for finding the right trades to work on your projects. So you really have to have, from a construction point of view, a very good running plan that people are not waiting around where there's gaps in the develop the timelines of getting things done.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. So, what are you most focused on solving or scaling to next in your business?
I would say probably scaling up into it's just I would say it's scaling up maybe in slightly larger sites that are building between 10 and 20 units would be ideal. But then again, then you're getting into a different category of construction build. And then also the numbers are just a lot higher. So you have to have deeper pockets or a better investor pool in order to pull that off.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what are you kind of like hoping for as far as like business growth? Is there any like goals that you have that you would like to hit for the coming year?
So I think so right now, I think we would like to for the coming year, we would like to probably, raise our count of, if we can, of finding, decent sites that are going to work out from a point of view. So one of our goals I think is to, add I would probably say another 20 units to the market over, let's say right now we have about 3 projects in the pipeline. So if we doubled that, that would get us there. So yeah, always looking to, look for different sites or talk to different investors that may want to come along with us on that journey.
Definitely. So, when you mention like working with investors, what does that partnership look like?
Ultimately, the investors are generally passive, partners for us. Obviously, I think they're interested, they're, attracted by diversifying their portfolio, finding something that's very stable, that has a clear, exit to profitability. And I think that's, we demonstrate that through the projects that we've done. So, working with investors, has been very good. Again, it really comes down to the communication. As long as they're, feeling like that their reporting is there, that they're getting the communication, that things are moving along, they're satisfied.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you share maybe an example of a moment in your business where you had to pivot or make a big change? And now looking back, you can kind of see the lesson on why that happened.
Um, s- where I had to pivot or make a big change. Yeah, I don't know that I don't really know that there was a time, when I was saying when I was making a big change or a pivot. Ultimately, I think ultimately, I think that, there are certain projects that that we looked at, that we started initial, consultations going down the road, that, we felt were going to be tied up with the city or so forth, where they required some zoning changes or so forth. And we thought that we could get through them in a short amount of time, and, realized that a few months in that it was really not going to take that long. And so I think, it's sort of learning along the way that you have to find, the right people that that you can trust, as far as people working with you, that you find that are not going to shorten, not going to sugarcoat it, and then you're kind of relying on these assumptions. So I would say, yeah, I would say, if anything, the only real difference that I've learned is that, try to look for sites that are already clear, that have clear zoning, that we can actually make an impact, hitting the ground running.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. You mentioned that underwriting is something that's really important for your business. Can you expand on what that looks like for you and your journey?
So what? So yeah. So of course. So we, so for our underwriting, we obviously have to start with, what we expect the market to actually bear as far as rents go, because we are in the, constructing rental units for this type of market. And so, we're looking at that from a, we start there from the research, from the neighborhood and so forth, where we feel that the rents are actually going to be. We also then determine, how to structure then the units, how many bedrooms and so forth that would make it worthwhile. And then from there, our underwriting is going to be, basically looking at what sort of projections that we're going to have from a cost basis, and then look at, ultimately, eh, what the value is that we can determine, and decide if it's going to be a clear exit, and what kind of return we can offer our investors. So if it's not clear cut, if it's not, looking that attractive, then we're not going to go forward. So we definitely do a lot more analysis, than just than building.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you finding that there's certain like market trends in your area right now?
Just that, that the high rise segment, is not successful today. It is not very, active from an investor point of view. Most people, where the attractive investments are taking place is in this sort of missing middle category here. And I think the cities have, caught on to that, and are now, upzoning the areas on major streets, transit oriented areas as well, where they're upzoning it, allowing for greater density along these main streets. And that's where we see the biggest changes.
Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. And so, what kind of, because you mentioned that there's a lot of like zoning changes allowed, like how does that kind of like shift the market and the landscape?
Well, it adds a lot more value to the actual, sites, because now that you can build more on that site, you can essentially, increase the value of that land, of that property. So that's one of the biggest, changes there. And it's allowing, people to stay in the area, in many cases, where, if they're downsizing or moving out, they wouldn't have many options of, staying in the same area that they actually have been living and working in. So we're creating, units, that are, in their neighborhoods. We're just adding more density to these vibrant neighborhoods.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exciting for the community.
For sure.
Awesome. So before we wrap up here, if
Yes.
someone wants to reach out, connect, learn more about what you're up to, where can people find you and connect with you?
Yeah, so they can reach us. You can reach me on LinkedIn. You share my bio as well. You can see me on Instagram as my handle is Rob C Mortgage Broker. You can see my content there, of course, and we post also what projects we have under our under a name under Brilliant Investor, Brilliant Invest Corp.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Michelle.
Of course. And for the listeners tuning in, if you got value, make sure you have subscribed. We have more conversations with operators like Rob who are building real businesses, and we will see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.